It is Tuesday, July 7th, 2020. I'm Pastor Thor Ramsey with Center Church, and this is Gospel for Five, where we take 5 minutes out of our day and focus on the gospel and the one who saved our souls. 1 Timothy 1:8 says this, "Now we know that the law is good if one uses it properly." What happens when we don't use the law of God properly? Well, we turn the law into the gospel. We use the law as our good news instead of what Christ has done for us. Now, why would we do that? Because it's less messy. We can simply say, "Give me the law to follow." Then I can feel righteous when I keep it. Cut and dry. How we use the law exposes our self-righteousness. Again, 1 Timothy 1:8, we know that the law is good if one uses it properly. What are some signs you might be using the law improperly? Well, I'll give you 4, and we'll briefly break them down. 1, looking for credit for your good deeds. Defensiveness when you fail. Comparing yourself with others. And being focused on your reputation. Now, what is the misunderstanding we have in our use of the law in these cases? Well, looking for credit for your good deeds. You're giving the law power it does not possess. The law cannot make you righteous. Galatians 3:21 says, "Is the law then contrary to the promises of God? Certainly not. For if a law had been given that could give life, then righteousness would indeed be by the law." The law can't give life. Defensiveness when you fail. You're relying on the law to change you, to make you righteous. That's why you defend yourself to prove your use of the law is working, to prove you really haven't failed. Romans 10:3 says, "Since they did not know the righteousness of God, they sought to establish their own. They did not submit to God's righteousness." All right, comparing yourself with others. You're basing your righteousness on your behavior instead of upon the received righteousness of Christ. John 21:22, Jesus said to him, "If it is my will that he remain until I come, what is that to you? You follow me." That's when one of the disciples asked Jesus, "Well, what about him?" Jesus is like, "You don't have to worry about him. You follow me." He says the same thing to us. So how about being focused on your reputation? Well, you're being self-centered instead of Christ-centered. You're focused on your goodness, your own self-righteousness, instead of Christ. John 15:20. "Remember the word that I said to you, a servant is not greater than his master. If they persecuted me, they will also persecute you. If they kept my word, they will also keep yours." Now, those are just 4 ways we misuse the law and make the law the gospel instead of making the gospel the gospel. Now, what has God said to you today, and what are you going to do about it?